camera rolling, desktop computers on, and put the laptop on. Laptop camera is going. Today is, what's today? Wednesday, 19th of February 2025, and I'm going to be ringing Jacinda Hamilton, solicitor, one of 16 Crown New Zealand solicitors in Hamilton, and hopefully she'll answer this time. There.
Hamilton Legal.
Yes, could I speak to Jacinda, please, before she goes to court?
Let me see if she's free. Just give me a moment.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for waiting.
Okay, that's okay.
So she's pretty flat out at the moment, but I just let her know again what.
Yes, I just need
what your request
a
is.
couple of minutes.
Yeah, so she's actually advised that we do not accept private instructions, unfortunately.
I won't be sending instructions. I just want to have a couple of words, and that's all. Nothing will. I can send it by mail, everything through. Once I said hello and introduced myself, and then can go from there. I only need a couple of minutes.
Yeah, so she has advised that we do not take private instructions, so unfortunately we won't be able to do that.
Just not an instruction. This is just an introduction of me, and then I can send all the. I won't send anything through until I've had a little word with her that I'm sending it through the email to her, and it's a big case. It's 17 trillion. That's what it is. Put it that way. It's big, and it's her, a Crown solicitor, that can handle it, and no other lawyer can do it. That's why it's important. I'm here for the President. I've been up at Waitangi, but our flag is going up. That's the King flag that we've been flying all the time. And I've been 50 years in the Confederation of Chiefs as the President. And I'm talking directly to Westminster. The flag is going up there, and the flag is going up on the treaty grounds, and the whole legal status will change, and I'm in charge of all of that. That's what I want to talk to her about, because everybody knows what I'm doing. It's been sanctioned at Waitangi, and it's already got sanctioned in Westminster. The flag that we fly is going up, and that's going to be direct from Britain here. And I'm the one that's doing all the British Crown Corporation stuff with the Freemasons. I'm in the Freemason side of titles. I'm the land title native judge that's started off everything in Helensville. Magistrate court. I'm running a magistrate court in Helensville. The first one that did the land titles. That's why it's important for me to speak to her, because I'm talking Crown to Crown. New Zealand Crown to British Crown. And that's really, everybody knows me online as being behind that connection with our partnership to the British Crown. Will change. Once our flag goes up there, it's going around 257 countries in the world with that 17 trillion that belongs to me. I put it together for the land lease of 201 years here in New Zealand. That's why I want to talk to her. Very important, because I want to talk only to solicitors. Here and in Edinburgh, solicitor there, and solicitor in London, England. That's why it's important, me as the president, to talk to her as the only person who can handle a case like this. And she would be talking to the solicitor in Westminster. I'm there already. I've been there to put the flag up, and I'm going back to put it up myself. It will be going up on Mikey Hill in Russell. Me putting it up again, and on Waitangi Treaty Grounds, I'm putting it up. This time, it's for real. So that's why I want to talk to her for 3 minutes. And then I can send the book of instruction through the mail to her and all the government ministers after I spoke to her. That's all I want to talk to her, why I talk to her to catch her before she goes to court, because this is more important than any other case in the world. That's why I want to talk to her. It shouldn't turn me down. It should talk to me to find who I actually am.
Okay. I will send her a message and let her know the importance of the telephone call.
Yes, we're talking 17 trillion US dollars. That's come out of my brain. It's been stolen. I want her to recover it. In Hamilton, Eddie Mitchell, the Mitchell Family Trust, has stolen it from all my 50 years of putting together. I have all the experience in the world to do everything British Crown. With Mohi Manukau, the Freemason in Helensville, and John Rogan, the Freemason that married my family and married the Manukau family. That's it. I'm telling you the truth. That's why I need someone to talk to who knows what I'm talking about. The same classroom as her. I'm in the same class as her. Put it that way.
Okay, I will send her a message and let her know that it's very important.
It's very important because the government is on notice from me. They are on notice from me, and I need her to conduct that case to get Alfred Mitchell and his Freemason into the court. That's the biggest case in the world. He's the most criminal of all corporate criminals with that much money in he's gone to Australia and bought $17 trillion. So you have a look at the company's office there. It's the Mitchell Family Trust with $17 trillion of money spent buying up property all over Australia. That's come from my brain. That's what I'm talking about. It's serious business that everybody is looking at online, on my website. I want to give her my website to show her all the affidavit videos. There's 68 videos, and the last one was in Titi Marae in Waitangi. Video affidavits is better than written ones. I've got written ones as well, all over 87 Facebook sites. It's there. All the information is there. All she has to do is pick it up and go and conduct a court case. It's all over in a native court in half an hour. It's finished. All over. That's how fast this court works. The native court of all 257 native countries in the world is going after this one gets off the ground with that flag. The only King's corporate flag in the world, that's the one I'm holding. That's why I want a court case with her, to do it for me in Hamilton, where the offence is, and the situation of my company, Ngā Atua Ewa Aotea Limited. He's money laundered it. I want her to do the biggest money laundering case in the world. That's why I want her, seriously. And I want to come down there right away to bring all the documents there with her and send them through the mail and come with it and do the case and put them in the court and get all that 17 trillion back in Australia, back into my account. That's what I'm saying. It's there for the people of New Zealand, not for one man. He's stolen the whole lot, and I want it back. It's there. His photo is there. Anybody's photo in this court, it's online. You see all the photos there? They're all in this court and they can't get it off. Nobody can get their photo off this court. If anybody's violating that flag now, their photo goes up there. It's all over for them. It's libeling everybody in the corporate world. Me. Okay, I'm the judge. I want to talk to her, a solicitor, because I talk King's Judge talk. Seriously. That's why I'm serious the way I talk online, in front of the whole world watching what's happening. To us here, leading off all native countries in the world. They're waiting for us, not for Maori. They're waiting for the native-born people on the land. They are all equal. And that's why I'm keeping Trump is using his executive orders. I'm using his orders. And the Masons Property Trust Act 2023. I'm using it because I've got the right to use it on anybody violating that flag and its jurisdiction. That's what I mean. It's solicitors I want to talk to. Here, London and Edinburgh and Singapore, where the offence happened to money launderer that money. He's the richest man in the world. That's got from my brain. Okay, that's all I want to say, because it's really everybody at Waitangi know, because I put a court hearing right in front of them there, and they know Eddie Mitchell needs to be put in court, in the Hamilton High Court. High Court. I do High Court. Native High Court. Law. Judge John Rogan married the Manukau's and married the Wānoas. My surname and my ancestors. We're in the Church of England, the Reverend Wānoa and the Bishop Carr. They're in the Confederation Chiefs, federal government. I'm running a federal government here in New Zealand. The federal government that the British wanted done here. I'm running the whole thing, the whole show. And I need a solicitor. That she's one of 16 solicitors that can do this job. Nobody else can. Only a solicitor. And for her, a big reward for taking a 17 trillion case on. Your company will do well with this one. And it's ordinary New Zealanders. And I know, I've checked her background out, she's the right one for the job, nobody else. I've chosen her. That's why I want to come and talk and come and see her there in person. Because I'm straight up in front of the marae at Waitangi. They know me and they know what I'm doing for a long time. I'm 50 years in the Confederation of Chiefs with that flag. And I need to get an appointment with her. If I don't, it's going to make her on the other side of the Biden administration when I'm running the Trump administration. It's all going to change. I'm on the Trump board here in New Zealand to put that flag up because it's the only King's flag on dry land on a British ship mast, and Cindy Kira has put her Japanese Maori flag over the top of our flag, and that's the offence. Another offence that goes on and on and on. And I want to do something about it before it festers into something not quite right. I'm there to make a correction to our people here. That means everybody is equal. Nothing to do with Maoris. It's nothing to do with Maori. Although you might call me a Maori, but nothing to do with Maori. But that's all I wanted to do. If she can call me, I'll appreciate it very much. Or if she says I can send the information to her to kick the case off, then I need to know now, today, I need to know whether she's going to take it on or not. I'm giving her the first choice from anybody else that can't do a case like this. And she's got the experience to do a case like this.
Okay. I will send through an email
Mm-hmm.
and let her know that you've let me know what your matter is about.
Yes.
Um, she's actually in trial all week, so
Okay. I know she's busy. I can always fit her schedule because I've got right to the 20th of March to go up and raise the flag. I need to let her know before I raise the flag on 20th of March. That's D-Day for the flag, but I just needed to know whether she'll take it on or not. Just a friendly call to see if she'll take the case on, and your company can take the case on, and then I can come over or send the information through or come through with it and have it there in physical form. And I can wait for her to call me and see how long it takes for her to call me. If it's important, if this is an important case, the biggest case in the world, a corporate case in the world, and if it fits into her schedule, I can wait. I've got from now till 20th of March to wait for her to take it on, if she wants to. I'm not saying anything else but to offer her the first to do it.
okay then.
Okay?
All right, I'll let her know.
Okay, thank you very much for talking to me.
No problem.
All right, I'll wait for her call. Okay, bye.
Okay.
Bye.
Bye.
There you go, people. How about that? I'm going to put the foot down right on the jugular vein. Anybody mucking around with that flag when it's going up, and the law changes here into the British law system and King William IV, 1830 to 1837 Acts of Westminster Parliament, unblemished and not corrupted. Okay, that's his reign, and that's all I need to get across the line. And I'm putting everything up online on my Facebook site now, all the documents that I've done with the information, including Jim week or two putting the flag up Mikey Hill upside down with me. I'll put the videos there of me actually conducting that day with Jim week or two. He got John Grace to allow him to go and put the flag up on the shipmast, the British shipmast. That's where the flag is going, back up on that flag shipmast, and I'm arranging the whole lot again, and then I'm going up there with our team of federal government officials here, and we will go up. No Manukau families will be in on that because it's private. It's Freemason Mohi Te Mati Manukau the fourth, and he's passed that mantle on to me as a Freemason, 50 years service, and his certificate of 50 years service. I'm continuing his legacy because he always told me carry on till he gets his land back and the whole of the country and the whakapapa of the title I put together with him of 6 years, just putting that together and documenting it and recording everything with him. I took videos of him everywhere he went, all over the country. Okay, so there, that's all going to be here on my Facebook sites, 87 Facebook sites. I'll pick that one out where all his stuff will go to go up Mikey Hill with all of that and the videos of me and him and the videos of me and Jim week or two up the hill and the videos of all the other occasions at Te Tii Marae and Waitangi Marae when we had the court hearing with Kingi Toto. Okay, I had the court hearing inside Waitangi Marae with Kingi Toto and Hoepa Epiha and Willie Peita and myself there with my little crew, and that was to put that marae as my ancestors' carvings in there, and also Kingi said, no, you have the right to be in this marae, it's yours. And I went there and put the native court in there to link us back into our history of continuity of sovereignty through king to king to king to king. Ernest Augustus is our king of our documents. He's the king of Britain, UK, Hanover, and New Zealand. That's King Ernest Augustus V. He's living in London, and he's about 76 years old, and he's not the King of England. And if William is going to take over from Charles, abdicating to William and Kate, William is not the King of England. He is not the King of Britain, UK, Hanover. He is Antichrist. He has no Church of England, like his mother was the Church of England patron, and he's not in the monarchy of the King William IV and King William III, the Dutchman, and King Ernest Augustus I, the brother of King George IV and King William IV. He's nowhere near that bloodline. Admiralty, court-martial law, and Admiralty, mortgage, lien, bank instruments. He has no Admiralty, no bank instruments, no jurisdiction, no legal authority to be the King of England, where the Freemasons are. He has no right to the Masons Property Trust Act 2023, nothing. He has no connection with certificates from Freemason in Helensville. He's got nowhere in that realm, and he has no King of Britain UK to go into a King of Britain UK, Hanover. And we're carrying on Hanover, as well as King Ernest Augustus I to Hanover, and Ernest Augustus V is carrying on that legacy as the Hanover and also the Dutch of King William III, and linked to William the Conqueror, 1066 AD to 1689, William III, Conqueror of Ireland, the 8-point star on our flag in 4 corners of the planet, and north, east, south, west on our flag, clearly marked there that we have a federal government to cover the 4 corners of this globe, round, sphere, world entity. Okay? And the American US flag is only for America, and all its stars have no connection to the world, like our flag. It's dry land flag, and that flag Trump is flying is King George III, the father of King George IV and King William IV and King Ernest Augustus I. The 3 brothers, and their father is linked to us here in New Zealand, the Emperor's King's domain. Okay, so there, I'm just saying, King William, when he becomes king from Charlie, is carrying a paedophile bloodline. It's paedophile. Rothschild Bank, Bank of England, we're going to liquidate the whole Bank of England out with the 2-bar patented pound note of William Patterson to John Patterson, that is my partner, my legal and legitimate lawful partner in London. He's living there alive, John Patterson. I went there, joined him to put the flag up in Westminster and put it up over here in New Zealand, but we got thwarted and I was deported illegally from Heathrow Airport and dropped in Hong Kong and left there to find my own way home as a beneficiary pensioner. I'm still a beneficiary pensioner, and I'm saying that the Crown New Zealand has usurped our flag to pick up the rent on the land, because those 4 stars, 8-point stars, is the 1835 King William IV Municipal Corporations Act, 1835, to pick up the rent on the leased lands all over east, north, west, south of the world on that flag. The only flag that can do St. Patrick of Ireland to pick up the rent of the land. Okay, that's our domain to do that. Our legal authority to put our flag up here on Waitangi Treaty grounds on the British ship and put it up in Westminster. I'm going to put it up in both places because that's Mohi Manukau's legacy to the Freemasons. I'm there, I'm not a Freemason, but I'm doing the Freemasons' work of Donald Trump, Freemason, and me, Mohi Manukau, Freemason, 50 years. I'm using his certificate and also mirroring him, mirroring his certificate in me, and mirroring the 33 degree Mason in England, soil sovereign land. There, and I'm mirroring that Mason. I don't know what his name is. I'll have a look to see who it is, and I'm mirroring him as on our documents with his compass inscribed on the document. Every page of 299 pages, you heard me talking to the top solicitor in this country, Jacinda Hamilton's secretary, and won't want to talk to me. Nobody wants to talk to me and covering up Eddie Mitchell. You're not going to cover him up. I'm going to see how long it takes her to ring me on my phone. I'm waiting for her call and see how long. We'll see how long it takes for her to call me and make a friendly call to see if she's going to take the case on the biggest corporate fraudster in the world. The richest man on this planet Earth with 17 trillion worth of property in Australia and equally as much here in New Zealand. Usurping and using the Te Ture Whenua Act, Maori Land Act and Docklands and pick them all up with Alfred Mitchell, his brother. You're in this court, your photo is in there with your brother as criminal, Eddie Mitchell and Alfred Mitchell. You can't get it off, mate. Yeah, I saw you up there. I didn't say anything. I didn't want to stir the pot any worse than what it is. With your photo there, you didn't come and get it off. You didn't come to the court. And Lady Crown came over to see me, and also Williams, Anthony Williams. He came over. Someone complained to Greg Cook, and Greg Cook told me to put the photos down of all the swamp rats. It wasn't the taumata, it wasn't the police, it wasn't any officials, it wasn't government ministers, it was Gregory Cook that told me to turn the photos down because the marae, the Waitangi Trust marae, and their sign they put with their tent up to put me inside it with the native magistrate King's Bench Court. I'll go and get the sign. I'll show you. Hang on, wait. Here's the sign. Look. It's not my sign. Will the owner of this sign please own up? I'm putting it here on this video as a video affidavit that this sign was put on a tent that belonged to the marae or from Ngāti Kawa. Someone in there, in the native, in the Waitangi National Trust, put this sign above my head in the native court, and it's not my sign. So I'm putting the order of offence of this on the Waitangi National Trust. You get the bill for doing this to me and claiming this as your authority, and this is evidence. This is a affidavit of a exhibit. That's an exhibit, probably 465, because all the exhibits in the 299 page book. It's got exhibits, and it got up to 462. So this will be another exhibit of evidence for the court that someone put this up, and that I put all those photos in front of it. And I've got videos of those photos, what they mean, and the rats on it. One of the rats is the Governor General, Sindikiro, Japanese Maori, that put a crown on their head on a blue back flag, and a little teeny one strapped on another flagpole to the main mast of the British ship. You know, that's offensive to me. That might not be offensive to Ngāpuhi, but certainly in the commercial world, corporations, which I'm going into, is offensive to put somebody's flag on your boat. If you put that flag on the American ship mast, you'll get fucking blown to bits. If you put it on a Japanese ship and on their ground, you'll be sawed right through you. Okay, you'll get a samurai right through you, Sindikiro. You're lucky you're going to prison instead of getting one of those of your own people through you. Okay, I'm not threatening you. I'm just saying Trump said the death penalty for treason. You know what you do when you paint all over somebody's flag or put a bullet through it or burn it? That's treason. You are going against the New Zealand Federal Republic E-State AI government of Aotearoa New Zealand. That's us here, and running this federal government and putting the flag up ourselves on Mikey Hill and Russell, and where Jim Wikutu put the flag upside down as a distress. The country's in distress. He was in distress, not me. I said, why didn't you put it up the right way instead of upside down? Because you got access to the flag stuff. And he said, no, we're in trouble. I said, I'm not in trouble. You might be, but I'm not. I know what I'm doing. I know all about it. So anyway, he put it upside down and flew it upside down, and I made a video of it. I'll put the video up here, all the videos, all the documents that are affidavits. I'm going to put the whole lot on my Facebook site, and you can see that that's all going up on the 20th of March this year, 2025, to celebrate the flag going up Mikey Hill. And Gregory is there with the Navy. I'm with the British Royal Navy. And Boyce, Baron Boyce, he was the Admiral of the fleet. And he was the one I wrote all my letters to. I'll put the letters here on Facebook too, to link him and his successor to me, the President of the Confederation of the United Tribes, the legal, legitimate Confederation of the United Tribes. And anybody else calling himself a confederation, I want to see all your documents and your legal authority, how you managed to get that title with that flag. Anybody flying this flag for not the right reasons? It is a British trading bank constitution flag. It's the license to this country, for goodness sake, that the king thought the Maoris or the natives were excellent, the best navigators in the world, and wanted them to figure it out without instruments. I put the 20 instruments together. I'll drop them in front of you as well. But don't anybody claim my documents. It's there for information and education of natives, education purposes only, and not for my own personal interest, but for everybody who doesn't understand what flags mean. This is a dry land flag, the only dry flag in the world that can go around with four corners of the planet with the Municipal Corporations Act. And the American flag has not got 20 instruments in their flag. Only this flag has 20 legal instruments and legitimacy of kings, emperors. Okay, so that's what I'm there for, to let you know I'm putting the pressure on all lawyers, all judges, all solicitors, all Crown Corporation's agents. It's you versus me. And if Jacinda Hamilton doesn't answer me, it means she's backing Eddie Mitchell, the biggest corporate thief of all time. And she's harbouring him. I'll have her for harbouring if she doesn't answer me. I need to speak to her. You heard me talking to her secretary. She must tell her before I send the documents to her. And once you open the documents, you're in contract with me. Okay? You one on one. One on one. Everyone that opens that book and reads it is in contract with me, with the British Crown, King's Emperor's authority and jurisdiction. Okay, of that book, 299 pages, and the 11 instruments, the lien warrants, and the book with another further 11 signatures of me, Paddy Rivers, Robert Dakar, and Brian Wickman, and also Widimu Hey. I picked one taumata out to represent all taumata in the country, and one, just him, nobody else, just him on the documents to make him and the whakamininga be part of the native court. Okay, not the other way around. It's the native court first, number one, to Britain and their authority there to get you on the land and get you off the land. If you play up, the British and that flag will get you off the land if you don't comply with its laws of the lands of England. Okay? Land laws of England and Wales. Okay, so there, the land laws of England and Wales and the sovereignty of the British Crown, Westminster and Ernest Augustus the Fifth and Ernest Augustus the Sixth, the regent waiting to go on the throne. That's our throne and our crown, first partner. And the British Crown is the second partner because they jumped ship and went overboard and lost at sea. You're all lost at sea, all you agents in Westminster, because that's how Admiralty works. When you abandon ship and don't tell us your partner, you're default. You're in default because you left us to run the place ourselves. And I'm running the place myself. Me, I, and we. And I won't be talking about me all the time because it's now we, the people of New Zealand, as sovereign. Live, lips moving, affidavit. Better than a written affidavit where you can play around with it and alter it. Not a video. Because if you've got an affidavit video to counter this one and rebut it or rebut it, then do so. Because I'm waiting for you to do that if you can do it. Because if your photo goes up on this court, you've got to make a video to get it off. Okay, that's the only way. The only way I know in a native court, it works that way. That's how they do it in the courts here, when the prisoner goes on the camera instead of going in person to the court. They do it that way, and we do the same thing too. So everybody in the parliament here is on trial. 120 ministers have got this writ warrant on their head, each one of them. And I'd sack the whole lot. That's me. It depends on what people say. When I go online, on Facebook, if you like what I'm saying, say so. If you don't like what I say so. And even someone got a complaint, put it on there so I can see it. And when you want to defend yourself, you've got to come on the camera. If you don't come on the camera, it doesn't count. Okay, if you want to say something on Facebook, camera, come on. If you want to go in the court hearing to defend yourself, come on Zoom. I've got Zoom running at court hearing number 68. The next one is the 13 chiefs of Ngāpuhi. They're going on the next court hearing 68 to identify yourself with your chief, because the British are looking at what I'm doing to make sure your indigenous name carries on. Wano to Wano to Wano to Wano, Manukau to Manukau to Manukau, Manukau, Utatonga to Utatonga to Utatonga, Utatonga, and so on. It's like that. Walker to Walker to Walker to Walker, and so on. And that's British. That one. The British names will be, you can't come here with a British name and call yourself a native, because the British will pick it up and tell you off. That they sent your surname here to keep an eye on all the pirates who are making themselves into a native and stealing the natives' land. So there, that's the next court hearing, 68. And that's going to be before the 20th of March, to go up Mikey Hill on behalf of the native chiefs, the old names that were indigenous and not Maori. Maori is mixed up Pākehā in it, and that doesn't count because the British will look straight through it. And my daughter, she's been a court registrar in Manukau court, district court, and she'll take that portfolio for deaths, marriages, births, deaths and marriages, and she knows Ngāpuhi back to front. She knows Ngāpuhi back to front. She knows Ngāti Porou back to front. She's over in Tainui, is her parents, Peter Mihinui, at Pohara Marae, which is supposed to be Punga Punga Marae, and the rock is the memorial to King George IV. Te ra Waikato Wharehere Manukau, that's her tūpuna there, Tracy's tūpuna there, the Mihinuis, that went from out in Okarare to Arapuni to live and to look after that rock and the history of Te ra Waikato Wharehere in Manukau, and that's the title I'm going under, the lease of New Zealand, 201 years, and that's equivalent to 1,000 trillion plus, and Eddie Mitchell just stole 17 trillion out of 1,000 plus trillion. And if you work out the figures of 970 million trillion, debt instrument, lien, mortgage, document, then you'll find it's not far off how much they spend the money in the stock exchange and the banks. Okay, they make 10 times as much as $1 in the bank and more on the stock market. Okay, you've got the crypto in now as fraudulent and tainted US dollar and tainted $1 British pound note of Rothschild banks against our 2-bar Patterson 2-bar patented pound note of King William III of Orange, 1694 Bank of England Act, and Patterson, who put the Bank of England together. He created the Bank of England, he created the 2-bar pound note, not the 1-bar that went past around the consent, the royal assent of King William III of Orange. So there, you've got a Mason versus a Mason, the Mason in Hamilton versus the Mason in Singapore, where it washed up the dirty money laundering and it went to Australia and spent the money with that Mason over there, and it went to Edinburgh Mason over there, and he gave Eddie the money, that Mason there, and going to get a hiding from the Mason in England. That's me, the one in England. 33 degree, mirroring him as 33 degree. I can say I'm a 33 degree photocopy of the real 33 degree with Mohi Manukau as my authority to do so. So there, I'm just telling you a true story, and I wanted to take, I never switched my loudspeaker on at Waitangi because I was loud enough without it. Okay? So when you hear this, it means business is beginning to happen now, and then I can tell you what's going on in this country, New Zealand. Okay? I can tell you I can tell you what's going on in New Zealand and Britain, UK, Westminster Parliament. The flag of King William IV, Constitution flag, 1835, and the Municipal Corporations Act flag, 1835, is going to be raised on Waitangi Treaty grounds as soon as possible. They've got to legislate the gazette the flag back up and send the Kiro's flag removed and thrown back into the sea and go with it back to Guantanamo Bay. That's where Trump is sending all the illegal immigrants because the country don't want them back. So if they don't want her back in Japan, then she can go back to Japan, to Guantanamo Bay, where she's going to be ordered to go there to spend the rest of her life for treason on our flag. Okay, and Tamaichi, he'll get deported back to Aberland in Australia, and he's Pigeon Maori. He can go back there and face the native people of Australia and go back and stay there and stop Takahia on Ngāpuhi. And in front of me, worst thing, he took over the taumata with the Muslims and painted all over the British flag and made obscenities on it and called it pokukohua, and then the Muslims swore it means, pokukohua means fucking bastard. And when the taumata heard that, they got Gregory Cook to remove them and turn the lights out. And that's what we got on there. And they call it a car park. All the maraes are car parks as far as the Muslims are concerned. If you play up with this flag when it goes up, you're going back home. Or Guantanamo Bay. Anybody that violates or creates treason, like Jacinda Ardern, killed and murdered a lot of innocent people, and now she's hiding away in Iceland and gone away and was hiding down in Canterbury, and someone will come and pick her up and lock her up in chains and hanging in chains and use Trump's executive orders. Now, Michelle Coco, she's offended me and told me how to run the court, and I'm saying to Michelle Coco, you have got a court case coming up against Greg Cook. That's your business, not mine. But your complaint will be going in the next court hearing, and Gregory can defend himself on Facebook. All the court hearings will be on my Facebook site, and you have to put like or not like what I'm saying, and like or not like what she's saying in her text messages will be put on my Facebook site, so you can see she's abusing me with her comments about me. Don't use Trump, and to listen to her, and she had a little cheek to say to me to come to her court hearing and her Zoom hearing and come and see her case. No, you come in this court is for the whole world watching you play up here and anybody playing up. Now, the other one, Greg's got a complaint again, is Tangaroa. He's gone back to Tahiti. He's married a Tahitian woman, and then that's his court hearing that I named him and not me. I got no complaint against him, but I'm checking his DNA and his ID to see exactly where he comes from and where people, chiefs, come from. You'll have a court hearing to answer on Facebook. And it's admissible in any court of law, and especially the High Court we use as a High Court of Admiralty. Okay? So we're using Admiralty against people, anybody like Netanyahu in Israel, abusing Admiralty law to cause war and to use this flag as war. And the Prime Minister Brown of Cook Islands used our flag, the King William IV 1835 flag, with Biden to corporatized Cook Islands into American ownership will change. Once that flag goes up, it returns to New Zealand and the 500-mile zone around the Cook Islands and 500-mile zone around New Zealand as the borderlines of our countries and borderlines of every Pacific island that's coming under this flag. Once the flag goes up on their country, 257 countries and all the countries in the British Crown Realm, in the Pacific Islands and Melanesian Islands and Asian Islands and Asian countries, then that will be enforced with this flag on their land as following native law here in New Zealand to kick all the rest of the native countries off with this book, 299-page book, and all the other books I had there in front of the Magistrate Court on Waitangi Day and the 3rd to the 6th. The New Zealand Crown Government was making a new day, a Waitangi Day, on the 3rd to cut themselves off from the 6th of the traditional Waitangi Day celebrations and celebrated their new company, their new corporate company called Crown Sovereign of New Zealand is not true. It's not real, and it's a fictitious, ambiguous title with no native title to back it up. So that's why they can't be trusted, and the flag will change the status and remove them from power and throw them back into the sea where they came from. Mischief with our flag. Okay, no more mischief with the flag, and America will be no longer in charge of that Cook Island country. Will be returned back under the ownership of New Zealand instrument of mortgage lands. We're putting a mortgage land right over the whole world, 970 million trillion pound note that cannot be removed. It's going with King Ernest Augustus V's head on the pound note, the greenback pound note. That's a debt instrument as credit. We can borrow against the credit on our own Maui Powerhouse Bank and at lower interest rate. Okay, so nobody's with a mobile phone as your new birth certificate value of $1 trillion Maui pound notes. We haven't figured out how much that's worth yet. You will find out when I get 10 square acres of land in Milford Sound to value it up to the pound notes worth. Okay, so there, from scratch nothing to the latest valuation of business under the Masons Property Trust Act 2023, amended from 1956. Property Trust Act Masons. Okay, so I'm using brains to make business plan work. 2012 Maui Powerhouse Tidal Energy Business Plan and Seaweed Aquafarms and Fisheries on the same bridge platform in the sea. So there, that's just something. I just turned this little thing off and I never got to use it Waitangi because I never needed to use it because everybody was on a different planet. Okay, they were in a different area of their expertise is only as good as their information was insufficient with an inferior court system. Okay, the judicial system in New Zealand is corrupted to hell and back again. Okay, turn that off. That's enough of that. So there you have it. That's where we are, waiting for a call from the solicitor, Crown New Zealand solicitor, Jacinda Hamilton, in Hamilton. And she's so busy not to take on the biggest case in the world, which is her corporate system of Biden administration, that they can't change quickly into a Trump administration. They've got a problem because he's going around with Musk. Elon Musk is the investigator with a executive order to go and uncover all the fraud people, and one at a time, one person, CEO, director, like Eddie Mitchell, one I just need him, and the whole pyramid will fall over. The house of cards will crumble to zero. Okay? The cryptocurrency will go to zero. And the chip coin of King William IV and King William III and King George IV will go to replace it. Okay, so I think I said enough. That's 54 minutes long, and coming up to time I gave this an ending, and so there we are. So, Michelle Coco, I'm going to put your comments about me and about Gregory online on Facebook. If Gregory wants to comment and defend himself, then he will go there to make his comments on my Facebook site, the federal government site. All 87 Facebook sites are federal government sites. And when you go to the website, moaipowerhouse.world, moaipowerhouse.world, when you go there, you'll see what YouTube has done and removed a lot of videos that are fact-cited evidence because it was too much for them. They were there since 2010 or 2009. Those videos have been there that long, and it's just in the last year that they started blacking them out. And now they're blacking me posting stuff on Facebook. So I have to screen print it and drop it on there, and you have to push the thread instead of the video to get the video, to watch the videos I'm putting together, and they are quite savage. The videos I do are savage because that's how a native court works, like this, to get the truth out of someone and put them on a spot. Everyone is on a spot. Your ID, where you come from, and your DNA. Those two instruments is what Trump is using with what I'm using, the Trump administration on New Zealand and Pacific Islands, and also in Melanesian Islands, and everywhere that we go with the flag. Okay, each country we go with the flag, it's going to be the same. So people in England is next. When we get our native flag up, then we're coming to England to stick it up there. You're the next native people on the land with the Freemasons in England soil land. I don't see William and Kate being anywhere in this corporate system because they have no continuity of sovereignty to anything that made the money in the first place. They can't prove, just like Eddie Mitchell, can't prove where the work is to get it. They don't have admiralty to go around the world to get the money. They just flogged it off King William III, King William IV, and King George IV, and Ernest Augustus. They flogged Ernest Augustus I and legislated him in an Act of Parliament of Westminster and put Victoria in. She's fraud right from the time, 1837, when King William died, poisoned to death, and then put the Rothschilds came along with the Nathans and put Victoria girl in to make everything girl. All the girl, you're fraud. All the mud-eyes have got girls running it, and they're all fraud. See? You see what I mean? What's this? What's going on? Download, found, update, X sound. Okay, that's the speakers. So there, the sound should come out quite loud on the video, so you can hear what I'm saying. I don't want to waste my time making videos for information, and the sound didn't come out in the desktop and came out on the laptop, so I used the laptop. That's why it's not head on like this, and side on the laptop is not as clear as the desktop computer. So I hope the sound comes out in the desktop computer. I'll put it up online in a minute, and we're preparing. I'm preparing with our federal government. I'm preparing for the 20th of March 2025 to celebrate the flag going up the hill with Gregory Cook. And the New Zealand Navy is not the British Navy. It's been against us all along. It wasn't there for us, but the the Navy officer admitted to us on a video that they're obligated to that flag. So now the British saying to the New Zealand government, put this flag back up on the British ship mast on the treaty grounds and take that offensive Japanese Maori flag off, because there's no authority from Britain, Westminster, for any foreign company, corporate, to put a foreign legislation and jurisdiction over the King's flag. Okay? So there. That's the end of that. So, Gregory, I'm coming up to Mikey Hill on the 20th to have our own celebrations for Mohi, Te Mati Manukau, the Freemason, and also for Jim Wikotu from Waimana in Apotiki, to him putting the flag upside down. I'll put it up the right way with you, and we'll go back to the 13 chiefs. I'll have a hearing for the 13 chiefs to identify their name and their authority here to act for the descendants must be indigenous. Your surname must be indigenous to be in this court. Otherwise, you can't be British. You can't have a British name on a native court, because that's the court's supposed to have an indigenous surname chief and a white Pākehā chief on the other side. The courts here are corrupted because you've still got Queen Elizabeth up above the judge's head and a Maori chief. Those two will no longer be legitimate and legal after the 20th of March 2025. I'm just telling you, the law versus the law. Okay? The law here has been corrupted ever since Victoria went onto the throne illegally and illegitimately, from king, empress to king and king and king and king. Not queen. That was not ratified by the natives. The natives didn't say to put Victoria there if we weren't there to say that we're sticking to the brother to brother to brother, father to brother to brother, and not to woman. That's nothing to do with the brothers. Okay? That's up there as a straight line of evolution and a straight continuity of sovereignty from one king to the next. No queen went around the world and put the Admiralty together to make money in the mortgage of the 10-acre block in Helensville. That 10-acre block we're putting in the sounds, field land, sounds, and making the value go up with what we're going to do with the projects with those British people down there, as they will go straight into the British people in Ireland, Scotland, England, Wales, and they live down there, and their buildings that are bought here from there, the design, and also the masons' business plans I'm using and adopting as a mirror image of their business plans with the Maui tidal turbine plans of 2012. I'll alter the shareholding, and we have the first company, that's the Maui Crown King George IV Trust versus the Waitangi National Trust as debtors, and Biden administration versus the Maui Crown King George IV Trust. Here, that's us, the Federal Estate Republic Government of Aotearoa, New Zealand, versus any other trust that has to have better information than we have online. And don't forget this, the Facebook sites I have will have the comments to make your comment or your complaint. Put your complaint there and we will handle it. The one that's going to look after the portfolios of 87 policies. 87 Facebook sites each got a policy. One for health, one for war causes of war and using the flag in the wrong way to cause war and not to stop war. That's what that flag was for, to stop war and to deal with fraudsters. Okay, and it was there as a constitution license to run New Zealand and the rest of the world with 4 8-point stars in each of 4 corners of the planet, and that's better than the US flag. Doesn't have 4 corners of the earth on their flag, and they can't have the jurisdiction of what we do as the Emperor King's authority. Okay, so there, that's that. And Michelle Coco, I'll put all your complaints in the next court hearing after the hearing for Mikey Hill on the 20th of March 2025. We'll be going there to have our celebration with all the people that have been pushing the flag for years, like Stephen Fleet, and that's one that was passionate about the flag for a long time with Jim Wikotu down there in the Podiki, and there are many more like him that were doing the right thing and following a logical way of doing things, and with in line with the federal government and with the Confederation of Chiefs at that time. There are not any around. There's nobody in the Confederation of Mohi Manukau and the Freemasons 10-acre block, which has gone right around the world with the same 10-acre block as the valuation of any city like Dubai. 10-acre block is there also, valued up at more value, and London 10-acre block is there as well on 10 acres. Who's inside 10 acres is the valuation, plus your birth certificate of $1 trillion on the Maui system of federal government is $1 trillion versus $1 million on Biden's administration system that changes to the Trump administration. I don't know, he might be taking the $1 million per birth certificate there, and the birth certificates came from Robert the Carr and the Carr family at Rangitukia, and the Wānoa, Reverend Wānoa and the Bishop Wānoa in St. Mary's Church in Tiki Tiki, where the land registry was for birth certificates and the government bonds, started there in the 1830s. Okay, and before 1830 there were Spaniards down there, and also Portuguese and other people, Chinese especially, at the East Cape, and Ming Foon, the mayor of Gisborne. He's not the mayor now, but you'd think he's a mayor when you turn the radio on, but he's a Chinese man, and there is the Chinese bloodlines all the way through the East Coast. And the fact that the rising sun, Ra, is at Te Pito, East Cape, and those people trespass me off the land there, those ones with their name on the Maori land titles, is going to vaporize and disappear into oblivion. And the titles will change. Once that flag goes up, every other title will disappear. Okay, you'll go into a British title under the Masons Property Trust Act, and the acts of that government over Westminster is the ruler, the 33-degree Mason in England, as the boss of all corporations in the world, will be answerable to our federal government using that authority, and Trump is using that authority as a Mason, and I'm using that authority here as a 33-degree Mason image and protracted mirror image on that authority here as British people, there as immigrants here. If you're playing up as an immigrant, it'll happen to you too if you go back to England, and they won't want you back there. And if you've been in treason with their flag, okay, anybody that's in treason will get deported, just the same way as Musk is doing for Trump. I can get Musk to come here and do the same thing, deport you if you have not got the right ID and DNA to match your documents and talk on your 2 feet or put your face on the camera to defend yourself in our Messenger and Zoom meetings. Once you're on the camera trying to defend yourself, you're locked in contract with me as the 33-degree Mason image in me and Mohi Manukau, the Mason, 50 years certificate. I'm mirroring him to be there on Mikey Hill for Mohi Tamaki Manukau, the president that transferred his legacy to me to carry on his good work with John Rogan, Freemason judge of the 10 square acres of land all over the world with the same 10 acres on your land, valued up to what it's worth in British 2-bar Patterson pound note, Moai pound note valuation. Okay, starts with $1 trillion on the birth certificate at Eastgate, Rangitikea, and starts with the land value of the pound note. Okay, so there, that's it. I'm going to go now have breakfast. I'll go for a walk first in the paddock, and then Buddy can chase me around the paddock and come back have breakfast, and then back into the work again. Okay, so we'll see you later. It's 1 hour and 11 minutes and 10 seconds for the video, and I hope you got something good out of it. All you people are in our system equals. There is no Maori chief that's going to lord over anybody living here. You're 15% of the population is Maori or native, or Maori, and 55% British, and Indian and Chinese make up the rest of 15% each, and everybody else after that to make up the rest of 85% people against the 15% whakamininga. Do you think they're going to let you run this country under the whakamininga without a native court? You think about that one. That's why I've got Wiremu Hei on the whakamininga side. Well, he's there on with Hama and Reuben Hei. Hama Apiata and Reuben Hei. That's as far as I can see the taumata of the Titi Marae I know, and I was surprised they opened up the government of Wellington, opened up the marae and let people go in there, but wouldn't let me film in there, and so I respect them for that and let me film outside, but I went in to see the old photos of those that were in the Confederation and pay my respects to them and the marae, and also opened up the kitchen there and had lunch in there, and that was a feeling of old things that came flooding back when I went in there. And Peter Apiata, I used to sit at the table with him all the time so that I can tell him what I've got on my mind. And he knew I was there to fish around for some information, and they wouldn't eat all the seafood. I'd eat it all up. And I'd go and sit with those kids and eat it all up because they don't like kinas. And I like kinas and powers. And so it was Kingi that was at the table next. I sat with him and ate all the seafood as well. And the only way through my heart is through my stomach. And that's how it worked. It always worked. I know where to sit on the table, sit with the kids who don't like kinas, and sit with the old people who don't like kinas, and they only eat custard and cakes. And I make space for all the pork and all the meat and the crayfish and seafood. Okay, so there. That's that. I'm blessed by going to Waitangi and seeing all that memories flooding back and do something about it. To get their land back and to do it this way. The proper way to do it is kanohi to kanohi and face to face with everybody there, and I had no complaints there and no complaints online. So someone's ringing me now. I better go. So we'll see you later. Bye for now.